felt like I got my top pockets turned inside out just a few moments ago. I went to the supermarket because I wanted to make some jerk chicken, and I bought some jerk marinade. Y'all know this, the bottle. I ain't gonna tell you who made it, but y'all know who it is. I'm not giving them any credit because they're charging about almost $8 for this thing. It was a little over, it was over $7, close to $8. And if you go somewhere else, or if you go to another shop, it could range as high as $25 for jerk marinade. Jerk marinade. You can make it yourself. So that's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna make our own jerk marinade. Yes, because the jerk marinade companies are being jerks. Let's go outside and we gotta get a couple more things and we'll get to it, all right? Hello, this is Jamaica 5288. And I went out today because I wanted to make some jerk chicken. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get the ready-made stuff. I'm going to go and get I'm not going to show you the thing, the jerk seasoning that everybody uses. This jar is running from $7 to $8. And if you get to another brand, it's like $25. Depending on where you get it from, you're going to spend from $7 to $25 on jerk marinade. And I ain't going to do it no more. I'm gonna make it myself. I've made it before, and I'm just gonna try. I've made it before. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So let's go ahead and get with it. We can make our own jerk seasoning or jerk marinade, and we can make it as hot or as mild as we want it. It is not hard. Let's get to it. We're gonna go out to the garden and we're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna come back in. Let's get to it. So I'm going outside. And I gotta get some thyme. I'm gonna get a little bit of the escallion. I bought some escallion from the supermarket because they were like 60 cents, and I don't grow it. I just, once I get it, I plant it and I keep it for as long as I possibly can. Mine are looking a little depleted and dried up. So I got some fresh ones in there, but I'm gonna plant the fresh ones after I take the tops off. So we'll take a little bit of this off. But first we gotta get the thyme, and then we gotta get some habaneros. I don't have any Scotch bonnet, I have a Scotch bonnet plant, but it's not mature enough. So we need to get some thyme. Here's the thyme. And let me see here. Fresh thyme. Grab some of that. Okay, we got some fresh thyme. Yay, there it is. And then, is that enough? Is that enough? I think that's enough. What is on my shoe? Chico, come on. Chico is not very happy. Today we had a little mishap. Well, a murder. 5 murders. The prisoners are upstairs, the culprits. And look at these bugs. They right in my face messing with my stuff. So let me see. Scotch bonnet. Oh, Scotch bonnet is over here. I mean, not Scotch bonnet, habanero. I'm only going to get 2 of these. So I'm going to put you down. And right here is a famous habanero. You remember them, right? Let me get, I guess, 2. Chico, come over here. 2 of them. I think that will do. They are hot. They're really hot. Yeah, that's enough. Chico, let's go, buddy. He has PTSD. He was looking at me like, I can't believe they did that. German Shepherds cannot be trusted. Can't. They broke into the chicken coop and they couldn't get the door open. So I don't know if Chico was an accomplice or not. He don't think so because he seems like he's super shaken up. But they have somehow got them out of the house because they couldn't get in because it's only that much room and they couldn't get in. But the chickens must have came out. I gotta get some more escallion. Okay, I got some of that. So I have my thyme, fresh thyme, my habanero, and my scallion. Let's go back inside. Okay, I'm gonna wash these off and then I'll tell you the list of ingredients that I'm gonna use. And there's some additional stuff that we can use and I'll tell you that also. Just a sec. All right, so the ingredients are thyme. What is that? Let me bring you down. Green onion. This is a lot. I'm only going to use the tops of this green onion. The bottom half, that's why I went and harvested some of mine. Look at the difference between the one that I'm growing and the one they got. Mine is way greener, way greener. But I'm going to only take the tops of this, and this part is getting planted. So, green onion. I'm keeping that. That's mine. And I just put it into a glass jar until the roots expand. So you put it in a glass jar like this. Put enough water to cover the white part, and eventually it'll start shooting up and these roots on the bottom will get bigger. You can also directly put this in the soil, but I just prefer for the roots to get a little bit bigger because sometimes they cut them off to the bare minimum as far as roots go. And I just sit it over here until I'm ready, until it looks like it's ready. So we got, I told you thyme, we got green onion. I'm getting my blender. Here we go. So I got my blender out. I'm gonna take my scallion, I'm just gonna rip it apart. Put it in my blender. Then I have my thyme. This is fresh thyme. I washed it off already. Let's stick that in the blender. I have some ginger, the 2 habaneros that we picked, some celery that I washed off. Now this is not traditional, but I'm putting it in there because I like celery and I had it. Some garlic. I did 5 cloves. Throw that in there. And this dish is really rustic. So the habaneros, if you don't like it super hot, and you don't want the heat to overpower it, don't use the seeds. So I'm gonna get these seeds out of here, or use very few of them. And then the seeds, you can replant them, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna harvest the seeds. So there's my seeds right there. I'm gonna put that right back in the thing. I have a couple of them in here, but I don't care about that. That's good. I'm gonna do the same thing to the second one. Try to get the seeds out. I just want the outer shell. Here we are, the seeds. I'm gonna plant these. I'm gonna let this sit and dry out for about 7 days. And then they're good to go. I'll put them in a little packet and use it for next year, or I'll plant some more because I had a habanero plant that passed away. Got 2 onions. Take off the outer shell of the onion. This away from my eyes because I will start crying. I thought I would be more upset about my chickens, but I had too many, so I wasn't relieved, but I was actually shocked that they did that. That they killed 5. So I have 5 left. The rooster is still alive, but he's on his last leg. I have him in the ER. AKA one of the bathrooms that we don't use. Let me cut these in half. He's in the ER, and I submerged him in some Epsom salt because he was in pain. He apparently was fighting because his claws are all bloody, and they bit him one time, but his claws were bloody. So he was fighting, trying to protect the hens, but German Shepherds are way bigger than he is, so, and there's 2 of them, so it's probably the female. My female she acts nice in front of me, but she's not. I'm gonna put these the garbage into the garbage, especially the onions. I don't want it to start affecting me. Okay, with this, I see a lot of people online who do not clean off their garlic, but I do. I mean, their ginger, but I do. Let me show you how I do it. What you do is you take a spoon. I'm gonna break off these nubs. That's just gonna give me extra trouble. And you take your spoon and you scrape it, and it takes the outer layer off. You can use a knife too, but this I found this easier. And this ginger was on its way out. It's a good thing I'm using it. How much ginger? Well, this I'll weigh it for you. How about that? I'll tell you how much ginger I have after I get all this garbage off. You just take the spoon edge and you just scrape it off. If this were a fresher piece of ginger, it'd be a lot easier, but it's not. So it's giving me the blues. It's giving me the ginger blues. Y'all remember that song, Harlem Blues? The Harlem Blues. And since my sweetie left me Harlem, they're just, I can't remember the words. All right, so I'm gonna chop this end off because it doesn't look good. I'll tell you how much this weighs, just so that you'll have, and I can feel the onions, ounces. 1.3 ounces, so about 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces of ginger I'm putting in there. Okay, so I have all of that, and then I can feel the onions. Okay, moving on to the dry. We need to get, I don't have mace. Well, not the kind of mace that I need for this dish. I digress. So I'm gonna use cloves. I'm gonna use a half a teaspoon of cloves. Okay. A teaspoon of allspice. This is called pimentos in Jamaica, but it's allspice here in the United States. I mean 2 teaspoons of allspice, not 1 teaspoon. Healthy, healthy. You want to taste this bad boy. You see I'm using a little bit extra, right? Not following the recipe. So I got some nutmeg here that I have to grind up. We're gonna grind up about 1/2 of a teaspoon. I just have to find one that I used. Find a nut that has already been grinded, and it's way on the bottom, of course, of course. There's 2 pieces here. I wanna start on a new one. Remember that nutmeg is super, super strong. And I made that mistake once before when I was making this very same sauce. Do not put too much of this in there. It will overpower the entire thing, and you probably won't like it. You don't want it to taste like a cake, do you? A hot cake? Hot cake! So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna grind up what I think is enough. And make sure that it doesn't fall apart in my mixture. That's about 1/4 teaspoon. I didn't use it all. Ooh, and I dropped it. Here it is. I didn't use it all, so I'm gonna put that back in the jar. Nutmeg stays forever. Just remember to keep it in a cool, dry place and do not get it wet. Okay? Put this back in there. Move this out of the way. Okay, then browning. I need a tablespoon of browning. And browning, I told you this is like burnt flour. It says cane sugar, caramel. Well, I guess it's burnt sugar. I thought it was burnt flour, but I'm wrong. So we're gonna put some browning in there. About a tablespoon of browning. Bitter, bitter, burnt sugar, burnt flour, bitter. Remember that. And then I'm gonna put a teaspoon of salt. A half a teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna taste this just like we taste our food when we're cooking. We're gonna taste this. You can always put in more, but you can't take stuff out. So be careful, okay? Half a teaspoon of black pepper. You move these to the side. A quarter cup of vinegar. I shouldn't put that much. I say an eighth a cup of vinegar. I'm gonna go down until I'm sure. I'll have an eighth of a cup, so I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to guesstimate what an eighth of a cup is. Half of a fourth, right? Put that in there. Now, sugar. We're gonna put a tablespoon of sugar. Sugar, and I'm using brown sugar. Sugar brings all your flavors together. If you want something to come together, a sauce or all of your seasoning to mesh together, put a little bit of sugar in it and it'll work. You can put in everything. Everything. Spaghetti sauce. Well, if you don't want to taste it, don't put a lot, but sugar brings the flavor together. Put a tablespoon, a light tablespoon. It might have been a half a tablespoon. And then we need some oil. Put make sure I got this thing open. Put a quarter cup of oil in there. A true quarter cup of oil. And this is olive oil. Moment of truth, right? Do I have any more ginger left? No, I'm gonna mess with that. All right, let me put my equipment back together. It's gonna get a little bit loud. I'm making sure that I have the video. Turn this down a little bit. So what I like about the Vitamix is that they give you a tool. Thing is, you gotta be able to find the tool. Here it is. And you just push it down to help it out. Go and find out what's going on. Some stopping of our blades. Oh boy. Going with a spoon, a long spoon. There is habanero in here, and I do not want to feel the burn, as they would say. I want mine. Now you see how, I should take this label off. You see how finely chopped they got that? I'm trying to get mine just as finely chopped. I don't want to see my thyme. Here we are. Put this back on. Okay. Let me see how it looks. Look at that. Taste test time. Taste test time. My favorite time. I didn't put a lot of season there, so I shouldn't get the burn. Let me get all this garbage away from me. This is annoying. Especially the knife. That's dangerous. Taste test time. Take my seeds off. Put them over here. Okay. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Mix it up. See what I need to put in there. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's good, but it's missing something. I think I might put some soy sauce in there. Maybe it's just fresh. Cause I'm used to this. I'm gonna do a comparison, and then I'll know what I'm gonna put in there. I'm one of those people. I could duplicate a recipe. I get real close. Don't tell them though. They'd be like, "Oh no, I need to get a fresh spoon." Dip it, cause this stuff is hot. Clean my palate. They have more vinegar in there. And more salt. Oh my God, they have a whole lot more salt. So I'm gonna put some more vinegar in there. About a quarter cup. And I'm gonna put some more salt in there. That is a lot of salt. Why is it that every time I taste somebody else's, I'm gonna put a teaspoon of salt in it? This is, what is this? It's a half a tablespoon. That's too much. A half a tablespoon is good because I ought to use 2 teaspoons, which is more than a half a tablespoon. Exactly half a tablespoon of salt in there. And which spoon did I use? I don't know which one was the taste test. I mix that up a little bit. Push all this stuff down. We're gonna blend it again. We're gonna blend it again. Come on, Vitamix. Sometimes it gives me a hard time. Here we are. Hey, moment of truth. This is not the spoon I used for my mouth. It was a soap spoon I used to mix it. All right, here we go. See, I'm getting just a light. My taste buds are a little dull from that. Getting it ready. Okay, get ready, girl. Here we go. I'm gonna put a little bit of soy sauce in there. And it's a low sodium soy sauce. There's enough salt in here right now. But I think that might be the tipping point for this recipe. For this, you know, duplicate recipe. I'm gonna put a tablespoon, and this is low sodium soy sauce. It's your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. It's It's your thing, it's your thing, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you. Okay, there we go. Who the talking to? That looks delicious. It's not as brown as this because they probably use more browning than me, but it's starting to look like it should. Well blended. All right, I want it better than that. Here we go. Can't get any hotter because it's already got all the heat in it, right? I'm not putting any extra heat in there. I'm just putting extra flavor in there. Moment of truth. That's good. I'm running out of spoon. I'm gonna do one more test of the store-bought brand. Oops, the store-bought brand. There we go. Where is this thing made? Is it made in Jamaica? I don't know where it's made anymore. I thought it used to be made in Jamaica. Product by St. Anne's, Jamaica, West Indies. Okay. Don't be mad at me, people in St. Anne's. I'm just doing what I gotta do because I can't afford to buy all that stuff anymore. Of course, I'm gonna use this, but I'm gonna water that joker down. I'm gonna savor this bottle. Okay. Fly. Way more salt. That's the trick? Salt? Way more salt in that thing than I have. I'll put some more salt in there. And it's way hotter, but that's the hot one. Half a tablespoon. And that's it. I'm not going to put any more salt in there. Starting to tear. Okay, I don't think I can do much more taste test. I am gonna be in trouble. You know they say burn going in, and burn coming out. I could take the. I mean, I like hot food, but I don't want to be in pain later on. I don't want that. This capsaicin will clean your butt out, literally. All right, here we go. I'm gonna jar this up. So this one will be open, but this is gonna marinate some more because I am going to water bath can it. Here we go. Oh, for the sake of YouTube. That's good. That's good. So this is milder than this. This is way saltier. This is fresh right now, but it's gonna take a while for the flavors to ferment or to come together. I'm gonna bottle it up. Yep, I'm gonna make a couple of bottles of I'll do it with you. How about that? Now, if you wanna stop right now and you wanna use this, you should let it sit for at least a day before you use it because it's super fresh. It's not the identical jerk seasoning. Everybody's jerk seasoning is different. And if you need to add more of what I put in there, Go ahead and do it. Taste test it like I did. That is burning my eyes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the jars and I'll be right back with you. So while I'm waiting for my water bath canner to start boiling or get hot, I'm gonna show you how I harvest these seeds. So we got the habanero and we're just taking them off with our nail. See that? See the seeds? Just rubbing them off. Getting them off of this this husk, because the husk has moisture on it. It's going to take longer for it to dry out on there. So I just want to get it off as soon as possible. That one's done. Here goes the other one. Just taking my nail and taking them off. If you have sensitive hands, use gloves. I'm just picking them off. Okay, and this is where they're gonna stay for a while, for a couple of days, till they dry out. I'm gonna put them on the table with, well, I can't put them on the table with sealings. I put over there with the canning jars, but there we are. So if you see a napkin, I'm not just, throwing napkins haphazardly around the house. It's all right, so I have 3 jars that I've washed here, and I have 2 new lids and 1 old lid. So hopefully this works out for me. Throw that in the sink. I'm gonna take our Vitamix off. I don't know if I can fill 3 jars. If I can't, I'll just fill 2 jars, and the other one I'll just have to put in the fridge. So here we go. Smells good. Smells very, very fresh. Just take all the time because I don't want it to spill over the sides. I want it to come through the spouts. I don't know why I'm getting all water mouth. Like, you can't eat this stuff. This is a marinade. That's how good it smells, though. My eyes are watering. My mouth is watering. That's how I break my stuff, banging it around. I'm thinking I'm doing more harm than good. Let me see here. You see how close I got to the top? A little bit left. I think that's good enough for government work, huh? Or for Jamaica work. Woo! Them onions are coming back to fight. They're like, you ain't heard of me yet. Wait till you get a load of me. All right. Then we're gonna have enough. Let me use this spoon. I don't want to waste this stuff. I used all my spoons. Taste test. All right, here we go. Down to the raggedy spoons. The spoon I had when, I don't know, I was TDY or something. Every time I PCS, I'd have to wait for my, PCS is permanent change of station. Every time I PCS, I'd have to wait on my household goods. And what happens is, you get there, first of all, you don't have anywhere to live. After a while, they just don't want you to stay in the barracks anymore after a certain rank. And you don't have anywhere to live, so they put you in a hotel. Well, then you find an apartment, and then you send for your household goods because you need an address in order to have your household goods delivered. And that usually takes a couple of weeks for it to come. And while you're waiting, you're in the apartment with nothing, and you buy all kind of stuff like utensils that you already have in your household good, in your storage. And that's how military people end up with like 5 irons, 5 ironing boards, different sets of utensils, different sets of dishes. It's because they're just trying to get by until they can get their things. What I started doing after a while was going to the thrift store, and I have to wipe my eyes, going to the thrift store and buying used stuff, and then turning it back in, returning it to the thrift store, or donating it back after I got my stuff in. It was just cheaper that way. Let me go wipe my eyes because there's a lot of onions in this, and man, it's getting to me. Let me close this one. Be right back. Okay, and I'm back. I'm still choked up, man. I could have went blind. I was suffering. My face is probably still red. I thought about putting some makeup on, but y'all need to know. Don't touch your face when you are doing this stuff at all. Do not touch your face. The fumes alone are going to make your eyes start watering. But in the end, it's all worth it. It all is. So I'm wiping the top of the jar. I'm wiping the top of the jar with vinegar. And I'm wiping my lid. Both jars and lid have been cleaned. Okay, that's one. Fingertip tight. Wipe the top of the jar, get all the debris off. That'll stop the jar from sealing. Wipe it again. See that? Move this out the way. Wipe it again. Wipe my lid. If you do not have enough to fill your jars, put a little bit more oil in there and mix it up. Or put some more vinegar. If you like vinegar, I'd recommend you put oil in there and just mix it up. Okay. That's covered. I'm going to do this fingertip tight. We're not going to crank it down, but we're going to seal it enough that the water doesn't get into this mixture. Let me clean this countertop off a little bit since I have vinegar. Let me get some extra bottles just in case the water is not high enough. And I'm going to bring you over here. I have a pot going. There is a rack in the bottom of the pot. I'm going to put some glass jars in this thing. I didn't want it this hot, but I couldn't see, so. I need to bring this water level up. And these are just canned jars of water. Nothing more than that. I'm gonna take these 2 jars, our jars. I'm gonna submerge it. And if I do not have it over the top of this jar, I'm gonna put another, I need to put one more jar in there. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put some water in here, and I'm gonna can water, because I need to bring my water level up. If I don't put water in here, it won't be heavy enough and the bottle will float, which is why I'm putting water in. So we're just canning water. See that? Fingertip tight. Where's my tool? Every time you put a can in there, the water gets higher. And that's what you want. You want them to be submerged in the water at least, I say that's about a ½ inch. You want it to be at least an inch. And it's boiling already. We're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. And we are going to let this thing rubble-double. And we're going to let it boil. I'm not going to say any witch's chants. I'm not a witch. I'm with God. I'm on the other side. So we're going to let this boil for about 10 minutes, for exactly 10 minutes, and then I'll bring you back, okay? The timer just went off. I turned the fire off, and we need to pull our bottles out. Initially, I was going to leave them in here until the water cooled off, but I decided to do it the traditional way and get these bottles out of here. So let's go. I'm going to take you to the other side. Okay, I'm trying to get you in focus. What is important is for you to see the bottles and not me. I mean, I'm important, but I want you to see the bottles. So I'm taking them out. And I'm putting on the counter just like with pressure canning. I'm gonna put them out there and let them seal. Here's my second bottle. I only did 2 bottles. The other ones are water, and I'm gonna leave them in there until this thing cools off. And eventually we're gonna hear that popping sound that we heard with the other one. So we're gonna wait for these to seal. We're gonna leave these in this space for the next 24 hours. That's why I have them on the board so I can slide them over away from my oven so I can do what I gotta do. Well, we're done. The jerk marinade is done. Now, you can use that seasoning and you leave it on your chicken or your pork for a minimum of 2 hours. I recommend you put a little bit more salt on there because there's not a lot of salt on it unless, enunciate your words, girl. Unless you have high blood pressure, I don't want you to put a lot of salt on it. The soy sauce should be enough, but if you like things to be more flavorful, put more salt on there. There's a reason why they put a lot of salt on it because the meat is gonna suck in some of the salt when you cook it. However, the jerk seasoning goes on top. That jerk seasoning we made is on top of the salt or the seasoning that you're gonna put on your chicken. So don't put a lot of seasoning on your chicken because the jerk marinade is gonna be on top of your chicken or your pork and you're gonna sit it for 2 hours, but you're better off soaking it overnight and barbecuing in the morning with some wood. That's how they do it in Jamaica. I forget what kind of wood they use, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Use some oak. Their wood is better. It makes it taste different. I forget what kind of wood it is. Can't remember. I'm thinking back to a couple of barbecue places we went there when we were there, and I cannot. The Ultima, you can't even see their kitchen, and then the other one, I can see it. But you're not gonna like what if I tell you what they do. They take the rooftop tin and they have the wood burning. Oh, it's real rustic. And then they put a whole bunch of chicken. It's like a big old line of chicken and pork. And they put the rooftop thing and the smoke just goes up and it just engulfs the chicken. That's why their food is off the chain. Whew. You will eat until you bust. At least I almost did. So this is Jamaica 5288, the jerk marinade. You can use it for pork or for chicken. Just remember it is a marinade, and marinades have to sit on the meat for a minimum of 2 hours, preferably overnight. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you on the next one. And Rudy is still alive and kicking. That was the main one. You know, I shouldn't say that, but he is annoying. I'll see you later. This is Jamaica 5288. I hope you're blessed. Remember to take care of yourself and then take care of everybody else. All right. Bye.